Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Lisa Grace, and today I have for you guys a little tutorial video on how I go about doing master studies. So I got a comment a few weeks ago, and one of you guys were asking, how do you go about doing master studies? Like, I like what you've done in your sketchbooks, how do you do that? And that got me thinking, like, that's a good question. So I have prepared for you guys today how I go about that, and I'm gonna be doing it on this canvas. So last year I got to take an art class that really focused on master studies. We went through and either imitated a piece, so like recreated it, made every mark just the same, and learned from an artist that way, or we were more inspired by an artist and went from their like philosophy or like techniques or ideas and created something of our own. So whenever you're about to choose what painting you're doing for a master study, you have to decide if you want to imitate it and like recreate it or be inspired by it. So that's where you need to start before you choose your master study piece to paint. So I'm taking a design class at school right now, and we recently had to do this project where we were given 32 small pieces of paper and we're supposed to make interesting marks and compositions on all of these and like abstract things. So just really experiment with it, have fun with it, and just learn about mark making. So whenever I was approaching doing a master study, I really wanted to find a master who had combined really interesting mark making with like landscape painting, because I love doing landscape painting. So I found this artist, Maurice de Vlemnik, and this painting called The Boats. And I was just like really drawn into it by how it like took a landscape painting and made it less realistic, more impressionist, and use really interesting marks. So today I'm gonna be trying to take one of my previous plein air paintings I've done, which is of a fall landscape in Kentucky last year, and put it on a bigger canvas and use interesting marks to do it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today, being inspired by Maurice de Vlemnik and The Boats. Last November, I went to Kentucky to visit my cousin. I painted this plein air painting from our hotel window. Because it was such a beautiful scene, I couldn't help but grab my gouache paints and capture it right then. The original concept for plein air painting is to capture a scene in the moment whenever you can, and then later on go back to your studio and create a final piece with it. So this was really fun to use. I just finished toning my canvas, and now I'm mixing up a kind of darker brown so I can sketch out, as I normally do with my plein air paintings, the landscape for this painting so I can have like a place to kind of build my fun marks on. Ooh, what are you doing? I'm making the concrete. trying to decide if I want to like swish each object into the next or not. Could be interesting. So I mentioned two different forms of master studies that you can do. You can either use the imitation method, where you kind of recreate exactly what an artist did to create a piece, or you can use the inspiration method. And today I'm using the inspiration method, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the imitation method and kind of how that goes. So there's three things you kind of want to look for whenever you're approaching master study, and that's the way they did their color, the form of the painting, and the method of the painting. So the first thing that you need to pay attention to is color. And what I mean by that is when you're looking at the piece, you think, what colors did they use? What does the overall color theme look like? Is it cold or warm colors? And like, how did they get those colors? Are they primaries? How would they blend those colors? How would you blend those colors? Asking these questions really gets you thinking about how you could do it yourself. The second thing is form. So what's in the painting? What shapes are there? Where are they? What is the painting of? Is it of something specific, like a still life of flowers? Or is it abstract? What shapes do the abstract lines make? These are questions that will help you recreate it to a more precise manner if you're doing the imitation style. And the last thing is method. Is it a realistic painting or is it impressionist painting? What kind of marks do they use to make the painting that they made? So whenever you pay attention to these three things and kind of ask those questions, answer them, it's going to be so much easier for you to create your master study more effectively, especially when you're using the imitation style. And whenever you're doing the inspiration style, all of these things are helpful to ask too, but then you just go further and say, you decide, how do I want to use those things? Do I want to use those things? And go from there. So it's day 2 of working on this painting, and last night I was feeling a little bit weird about my painting, how it's turning out, how it's looking, where I'm going. So I decided take a break, sleep on it, see how it goes in the morning. And I'm glad I did that, because this morning I was just looking at my master study again, trying to figure out what I'm doing, and I just, realized and wanted to tell you guys, like, whenever you're doing these things, master studies, like whether it's imitation or inspiration, it can be kind of frustrating because the reality is you're not the master. That's why you're doing a master study. And so whenever you're trying to like recreate the exact piece or do their techniques, like they're considered masters because they're really good at what they do. And so like just remember whenever you're going through this process that you're still learning, and this is a learning experience and you don't have to be perfect at it. So that was really helpful for me to remember, and now that I have re-studied my master study, the actual piece, I have a lot more direction and ideas, so let me tell you what I'm going to do with this now. So in this piece, I noticed that he has outlined a lot of his main elements in kind of like a darker color. So whether it's houses, trees, or boats, he has them kind of outlined in a darker color. His is black. And in my painting, we kind of have not really any darker colors in there. It's all kind of like a medium tone. So I realized I need to add quite a bit of lighter colors and quite a bit of darker colors to kind of even it out. I also noticed that he has some kind of distinct marks on top of like wherever he has dark. So like for instance, like in this painting, everywhere you look, there's like, you know, he has dark blue, then light pink, or dark blue and green, then yellow or light pink. And so for my piece, I think it would be really a great idea to kind of even out the tonal range, not even out, extend it, like make it bigger. So I want to add some more like darker lines and things and lighter bits to kind of have it more of a wider range of tones. So with those ideas, I think I'm ready to go and see how this painting turns out. I feel a lot more excited this morning, and you know, it's a good reminder. It's okay to take a break whenever you're working on something. Sometimes it's even good for you. So let's get to it. So I just added some white spots to this painting because I was struggling with getting this tree to pop. So I added this white and I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'm gonna paint the most vibrant red I have on top of it, so the white behind it will help it be more vibrant. So this is my little experiment to see if this works. So we'll see how it goes. So the painting is done. There was definitely some times I kind of thought this may not get finished or turn out to be something I liked, but I'm really actually happy with how it turned out. I think learning from somebody who does something very different than me, using a different painting style, I really had the opportunity to learn that sometimes when things don't look how you're used to them looking, there's still an opportunity to turn it back around and make it something you like. There was a lot of moments in this process where I thought, oh no, is it gonna turn out to be something good? But it did, and it was good to keep pushing through and learning from it. So I hope this video was helpful for you. It was definitely a helpful experience for me. So I'll see you guys next time.